Alright guys, we made it down to the bottom here, and we're going to check the stock tank. Just thought of taking you along again. I don't come too often because it's kind of like, clockwork, but every once in a while I got to take a peek at it and just make sure the horses or other livestock haven't wrecked it. So here we go. Got a lot of really nice sunflowers this year, and yeah, these things are all over. What amazes me is these things are just so late blooming. It'll just be dry as a bone out here. We'll just get these beautiful sunflowers coming up out of the hills out here, and they must just have really deep roots. But we'll take a look here at our stock tank. I've had to rearrange it a couple times, so looks like it's still flowing good. Got a little trickle coming out. Got that thing like machine bolted down to the side of the tank there, just with a plastic line, but that plastic line goes way up. I kind of come and I'll dung it out every once in a while, get the algae out, but it runs year round. Here we're towards the end of August, that thing's just going. Now these thistles here, maybe you're seeing these thistles, they're normally just beautiful flowers. The whole place here is just a sea of these beautiful flowers. You wouldn't know it now, but because they're all dry, but every one of these huge thistles are just, they're taller than I am. Shit, I'm 6'1", and these things are just tall. They're normally just beautiful purple flowers out here. You can see it's green up all the way. We get a lot of big toads up in here and different frogs and whatnot. And it's a far cry from the top of the mountain, because that there is the top of the mountain. I'll zoom up there right above these are antelope bitterbrush. Right above the antelope bitterbrush there is that kind of that pond looking, that caldera thing there. And it trickles down into some boulder fields. And well, if I'll walk up and I'll show you the boulder pits there if you guys want to watch the next video. I'll click this one out and I'll patch it to the other one, and I'll do a separate one of the boulder pits here. So, and I'll show you, that's worth seeing. I'll show you guys in boulder pits, but there's very few trees. There's a little wild plum right here. A lot of antelope bitterbrush. And a lot of this, there's my pipe. And I'll show you guys a little bit of what I did just really quick here. It ain't that ingenious, but it worked really well. But here's the end of the spring here. Right down in here, me and my boy dug that out, covered that up with boulders. I put a spring head on it. Nice perforated pipe, all dammed up with some like 6 mil ABS sheeting. And rigid, like almost like a Kydex or something. I talked about on one of the other videos, but it was almost getting dark. And laid that poly pipe down and just kind of sat a rock on it all the way down. Goes down into that stock tank, runs all year round. Probably hear it trickling. I'll show you something that's really cool. Now, you buy a place that's been around and been used for ranging and grazing and shit for 100 years. You never know what you're going to get. So it wasn't until we put our animals out here that everything was growing up so high that me and my wife was walking around after we did this here spring, and had the little guy out here, and we were looking for treasures and whatnot, and all of a sudden we kind of kicked something, and we looked down, and it was just an old metal pipe. And then we started following it, and that old metal pipe came out all the way to maybe where a stock tank would be. Right there. And that old metal pipe goes all the way back up. Right there to where me and my boy dug that spring out and put that head in. I thought, well, what are the chances? We were just out here kind of doing it off the top of our heads. And then we find this 100-year-old pipe My pop said that thing probably was done with an old 55-gallon drum, and it rusted and collapsed in on itself, and now no water's coming out. You know, they probably use that for the debris tank where they fill it with wash rock and stuff to keep the sediment from filling in on it, you know, and it rusted itself shut and kind of fell in. So we hit the jackpot, but we didn't know it until we already put the animals out here. They were out here grazing it, and they grazed it down. I said, shit, there's a pipe right there. Maybe I should have put a fish tape up there, or a rotary snake or something, and see if I could have got it going. But anyways, decided to show you guys my nice stock tank setup here. And this, we're at the bottom of the mountain here, and that's where that bowl is, up above there. And I believe that that's where this water comes out, because it just comes out all year long, and in a steady trickle. And it never stops. And tell you the truth, if I lower this pipe, because I got it brung up like that, but if I lower it down just a gravity feed, it comes down a lot better. And the horses love it. But that's that. Goes on down there. Lots of thistles. Hey, if you guys want any thistles, these dried thistles, I've seen these like in home decor stores and whatnot. You guys want any of these nice dried thistles and your state doesn't regulate, well, there's a hopper. Your state doesn't regulate the transport of any kind of dried agricultural goods or whatever, arts and crafts and whatever. If you guys got wives that want a bundle of these dried thistles, I'll just clip them up here. I see them poke down into some of that in their, you know, arts and crafts store, the foam blocks, made up in all kinds of different little arts and crafts goodies or whatever. But shit, I got an entire field of these dried thistles. Any of you guys watching this, you guys want a bundle of these and there's nothing prohibiting, I'll bundle them up and send some to you there for arts and crafts. So anyways, you guys, this is Chet signing out. Thanks for coming down here to the stock tank with me, taking a look at this, and you got a better view of Man Camp, what's above and what's below, and you can kind of see the year-to-year difference on it. But I'm going to give you a little treat here, and I'm going to take you up to the boulder pits, and that's, you can't really see it from here, but that's a pretty cool thing to see. So stay tuned. We'll click out of here. If you guys tuned into the next one, I'm going to take you up there and we'll take you to the boulder pits. This is Chet signing out, you guys. Thanks for watching.